Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. We appreciate you joining us today, and we have an interesting show for you. And here we are, almost to the end of February already, and still
Such nice weather we've been having.
great
Not as
weather.
nice as off Cape, but hey, I'm not complaining, right?
I can't believe that 2 days in a row records were broken in Boston.
I know.
Excuse me, as far as temperature is concerned, over 70 degrees. That hasn't happened before, and we weren't anywhere near that. I think the high temperature I recorded was 49, so we didn't even make 50. So
And it being school vacation week, a friend of mine has a daughter that's down visiting with her children, and I happened to see them yesterday, and she was saying, you know, it was a gorgeous day up in Boston, and we couldn't wait to get down to the Cape and have this beautiful day, and we crossed the bridge, and it's like all fog, and what's
in.
this? Fog and dampness, that's it.
That's
yeah.
right, that's right. Well, as you can see, we have a special guest with us today, and if you don't know her, we'd like to introduce you to her. This, of course, is Chris Joyce, the chair of the Voter Information Committee. A very important committee, Chris,
Yes,
because
it is.
voting is very important. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us
yes,
this morning.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm going to cover two topics rather briefly.
Okay.
The first is the 3 programs that Voter Information is going to be putting on with the help of Jamie, taping them. And the purpose is to get folks out there some helpful information in preparation for town meeting and the town election. So that'll be the first topic, and the second, a quick review of how to apply to serve on a town committee. So I'll start with the first program that we're going to have taped on Channel 18, and it's one we do each year, the Financial State of Harwich. It's scheduled, I do that thing, sorry.
That's all right.
Perfectly all right.
Yes, I do it
We
as well,
all
so
do
I
it,
understand.
believe me.
Yeah, so April 10th, we'll be taping in the Griffin Room. Public's welcome. It's not participatory for the public because it's really just a panel. We'll be asking the panelists to present the official position of their board, their committee, the administration of the town. They'll go over the town finances and then key budget items that are going to be on the warrant and that you'd vote for or against at the town election.
Right.
So already confirmed are our panelists Mike McCaskill, Board of Selectmen Chair, Christopher Clark, Town Administrator, Carol Coppola, Town Finance Director. She'll talk about things like our bond rating, debt that we have, and then Jack Brown, who's chair of the Finance Committee. We also have both superintendents of the school, Cape Tech, and also so that's Bob Sanborn and then Scott Carpenter from the regional school district, Monomoy Regional School District. Both of those folks will bring their reps, Harwich reps, on their school committee. Also will be participating. And so that'll be either Nancy Richardson, who probably will be Nancy Richardson from Monomoy, and either Lee Culver or Bob Furtado for Cape Tech. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay.
So this is basically an informational panel
Right.
that people would come and listen.
That's right.
It sounds, you know, very, very thorough.
Yeah, it'll last about an hour, maybe a little less. And I think it's great information. Our 2 moderators will be Tina Games, who's also on our committee, and Pam Grosswald, who's very experienced, has been on this committee before, rejoined us, also has great experience on the school board and the finance committee. So she knows what to ask, and our panelists always come very, very well prepared. The other program, the second program, is October, oh my goodness, April 24th, also in the Griffin Room, 9 in the morning, and our member Peg Rose, she will lead a discussion of the major articles on the town warrant. So we have as our guests then what I call the sponsors of those articles.
Right.
So maybe some zoning things. We know there'll be some money articles, And while the warrant isn't final yet, more to follow on that program. Again, the public's welcome. It's not interactive. But our third program is, and that's going to be a candidates debate on May 1st, 6:30 in the Griffin Room. And if there's a contested race, we will have the League of Women Voters moderate a debate amongst the candidates.
Oh.
And so the audience can participate by asking questions. They're a great group, League of Women Voters. They run a very fair debate, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So let me see here. Well, all of these three programs are a build-up for town meeting and in the town election, but you can't participate in either of those unless you're registered to vote. So I encourage you to do so. The last date you have to register to vote is April 17th. So get yourself to town hall and please register. The other thing I'd suggest is Anita Doucette, our town clerk, has a great web page, and on there is a great one-page sheet of all the critical dates, including all those seats that are open for, for election. And there are 9 this year, including,
Wow, that's a lot.
I think, I haven't been around that long, but I think the most that I remember. So we have a selectman vacancy, a couple of water commissioners, a school committee, and then 6 more. Brooks Free Library. So that kind of wraps up my talk about our programs. And then I'd like to just move to the second topic, which is my last pitch. And that's, I hope folks out there would consider serving on a committee, on a town committee. It's a pretty easy process. You can pick up the application. It's called Citizens Committee Vacancy. And it's on the Board of Selectmen's webpage. It's on Voter Information's webpage. And it's also in hard copy if you want to go to the Board of Selectmen's office. You can pick that up there. You complete the form, you indicate which committee you're interested in, and return it to Town Hall. There's an interview committee of 2 folks, 2 of the selectmen, and they try to match you up with, what you're interested in doing. And then they make a recommendation, and if it's a yes recommendation, then that goes to the Board of Selectmen who vote. It's on the agenda, and it's usually the consent agenda, and then they vote yes or no for your appointment. You'll be notified if that's a positive vote, and usually is, and then sworn in by the town clerk. Then you can start your service on that committee. I bring this subject up because there are 19 committees with a total of 35 vacancies.
Wow.
So that's less. The Board of Selectmen has made great strides over the last 2 years of getting that number down, but it's still a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It's still a lot, yeah. So I would just, encourage you to serve. I remember getting turned on to serve by watching a program not unlike this, where Voter Information Committee was talking to a couple of the Board of Selectmen at the time about vacancies on committees. And I thought, well, those 2 women, Peg Rose and Joanne Riss, they look kind of nice, and there's a vacancy on their committee, so I think I'll apply. And
What
I
good
did.
reasoning powers you have.
They look nice.
They are nice.
They are.
Nice, and it worked out well
It worked
for you.
out very
Yes,
well.
Yes.
Yeah, so again, I'll just remind you the committee that's in big need right now is the Harwich Accessibility Rights Committee. They're doing a fabulous survey right now, I believe with a grant from IBM to survey town properties on accessibility, The other that's missing a member or 2 is the Historic District Historical Commission. I
right.
think you know that from last night.
Well, yes, on
Yeah.
past meetings,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cultural Council, Building Code of Appeals. There are many more. I'm not going to list them all, but anyway, that's my pitch to hope you get involved in the town management
Well,
and
Chris,
serve. Yep.
to go back to town meeting, you know, for
Yes.
these informational meetings leading up to
Yeah.
informing people as to the warrants and town meeting, you know, I think people sort of forget that our town meeting is a direct town meeting, and I think people forget that,
Yeah.
that you have a direct voice as to what goes on in town.
Right.
And the more informed you are, you know, you're going to be able to speak with a little bit of intelligence at town meeting.
Yeah.
So I think these informative meetings that you're putting out there, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Well, I wish it were mine.
Well, at least you're involved
But we're
in it.
doing
That's,
it.
You know,
Yeah.
that's really wonderful.
Knowledge is power.
It
Yeah.
sure is.
And every vote counts, and especially right now, the state that our country is in, whichever side you're on, you need to make sure that you vote and that you find out all the information to make sure that vote is the best one you can make.
I think you're right. Yep.
Would you go over those dates again?
I
for
will.
those
I'm glad to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Let me find my sheets. Okay, so I know this is a little early, but still, April 10th, we'll be taping the financial state of Harwich. April 24th, we'll be taping, we call it the pre-town meeting.
The lead up to.
Yeah, because it reviews the warrant articles, not every single one of them, not the pro forma ones, but, you know, the ones with money or major changes. And then our third program, if we have a contested election, is May 1st in the Griffin Room. That night also, we'll be interviewing candidates who are in uncontested races, just so that our voters can get a sense of what they bring to the table and why they want to run. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's so important that people are well informed,
Oh, well,
and this is a
absolutely.
great conduit for
Yeah,
that.
it is.
And,
Thank you.
You know, really, it is. So, what else do you have?
That's it.
Oh,
And
wow,
thank
that's
you.
fantastic.
Well,
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much.
much for
Well,
coming
welcome,
and letting
both
us
of you.
know about
Yep.
all these important meetings that are
Yep.
happening soon.
I
so-
hope you'll see us again.
That's
Yes.
a
Yeah.
full plate.
Yes,
and,
Yeah, it's our busy season.
Yeah, it sure
Yeah.
is, and
Yeah.
we really appreciate you and all the people you work with for putting all this together. It does sound very comprehensive.
Thank you.
And I really hope people take advantage,
Yeah.
because this is the way that you can be informed. I mean, I have sat in these town meetings behind a camera for many years.
right.
And I have watched people get up and say things, and they were really not very well informed of what they were saying. And there is no excuse for that. And here is an opportunity to walk into town meeting knowledgeable and know what's going on so that you can make an intelligent vote. So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
You're
Chris,
welcome.
for joining us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
And I
you
hope
very
you get some people to step up to the plate
I-
and join those committees.
I do too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
thanks
you.
a lot.
Yep.
Well, folks, we now move to the Chamber of Commerce update, and we're going to have Cindy sit down with Dinah and take a look at what's going on at the Chamber of Commerce. Let's take a look at that right now.
I'm here with Cindy Williams of the Harwich Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, Dinah.
Good morning, and it's awfully nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
And I understand you have some exciting things coming up, in particular, Toast of Harwich event, which is
Do. I'm going to start with something that we do at the Chamber is a monthly business after hours with our members where they can interact with one another. This month, though, we're going to open it up, and we're at the Family Pantry, and our hosts this month are Tony Guthrie and Sharon Mabel of Robert Paul Properties, and we're at the Family Pantry because we've partnered the first few months of the year with nonprofits, and it's not typically right now the season of giving people think of, but the Family Pantry, which is so wonderful and a great resource that we have here in Harwich, is always looking for donations. Canned goods, food, clothing, monetary donations as well. So our business after hours, it is by RSVP, so please reach out to me at the Chamber, is this coming Tuesday, February 27th, 5:15 to 6:45. So if you would like to attend, please contact me at the Chamber. But then, as you mentioned, I can't believe it, we're gearing up for the Toast of Harwich, which we are back at the Wequassett, Harwich's 5-star resort, newly awarded again as a 5-star resort by Forbes. And it's April 27th. It's going to be starting at 6 p.m. And we have 3 tiers of tickets this year. So something new is our elite ticket. This is John Kenny from Portside Liquors came up with a great idea. So we're going to have that level, which will be maxed at 30 people. Then we have the traditional VIP champagne reception, and that's open to anyone that buys that ticket. And then the general admission ticket at $75. So all of that information is on the website, and you can purchase tickets now. So please do. Some exciting fun things, though. We have about 14 restaurants, some first-time restaurants that are joining us, and some fan favorites. But to date, we have the 400 East, our first-timer, which we're so excited about. He always partners with us for silent auction items, but Brack's Landing is going to be joining us at the Toast, as well as Buca's Tuscan Roadhouse, Cape Sea Grill, Ember, Lanyard Bar and Grill, which is formerly Land Ho, and the Mad Minnow, the Mason Jar and La Alouette will provide desserts, and Mooncusser's Tavern and Inn, The Port, Vieira, Red's Pizza, and Wingate are all participating restaurants. And then Cranberry Liquors has been a wonderful partner with us for the wine tastings. He coordinates with the different vendors, so those will be supplemented in throughout the room as well. Great band this year that is going to be with us, one of our Port Summer Nights bands, the Rip It Ups. So we'll have dancing with them from 7 p.m. to 10. And then silent auction always is a big draw. People love what our Harwich businesses come up with, and some people from outside of the community as well, but it's mainly our Harwich businesses and members that have this opportunity to showcase what they have at their different businesses. Something that we've already received, and we received it late last year. It's an amazing, I have it hanging in my office, a Vivian Oswell, and it's of Witchmere, and it's the North View. It's a value of $4,500. So that actually, we're going to start a little early. The bidding you can come down. We have a bid sheet in my office. That's going to start March 1st. And as I said, the value is $4,500, so the minimum bid is going to be opening up at $1,500. So I know the picture will play during the show, so please, if you are interested in that, please come down and bid on it because it is gorgeous.
And the auction results are announced when?
That night. So the event goes 6 to 10, and then the auction will close at 9. We're going to extend it a little earlier than we have in past years. But while everyone is getting ready to cash out all their wonderful winnings, there'll be dancing going on still with the Rip It Ups. So that night you get to take home all your goodies.
Oh, very good.
So
good plan.
It is a
and
great,
that's on April 27th.
April 27th. Again, it's the 17th annual. It's at the Wequassett Resort. We are back there with everything, so we're very excited for that as well.
Beautiful location.
It is, and then 10 days later, we're getting ready for town meeting. So what I'd like to do...
Back to business.
Back to business, yes. And during the next couple of months with our show, I think I'd really like to touch on the importance of town meeting. We're going to do, before town meeting, I'm waiting just to confirm our guest speakers on some of the issues, but we're going to do an educational session, so to speak, for the community to learn about the different articles that are concerning to people and that they may not know all of the logistics and everything. Such things as wastewater station 2, which is so very important, and then the different zoning bylaws to banning retail sales of marijuana. So we're going to have an educational time and more to come on that date. But as I mentioned, May 7th and 8th is town meeting. Everyone's voice counts. Everyone's vote counts. A lot of the warrant articles do require a 2/3 vote. So you do need to come and have your vote count, because we all take on what we've all agreed to at town meeting. So we need to all be invested in it. And we have such a wonderful, wonderful town and great things coming in, that we're working on together. So it's a collaboration, but everyone's voice does count. So please, May 7th and 8th, please come out to town meeting. It's extremely, extremely important.
And it's so good to be informed, which is what the purpose is of your educational session ahead of time.
Exactly.
So it would be great if people took advantage of that. If they're not exactly sure how they feel about the issues, they can learn more.
There's nothing more daunting than getting into the little curtained box and looking at the ballot going, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And you have to read it over like a couple of times.
Yeah.
But this way you'll know ahead of time that these are the ones that really you're concerned about, you're curious, you don't know all the, there's so many words in some of it that you're like, all right, what did that say? Do I, so
it really
this
helps
way,
to have some foreknowledge of it.
Right. So that's something new that we're going to do. Just waiting to finalize that. But we're going to do that at the Cultural Center in the auditorium. So we're excited about that because that's such a wonderful venue that we have here as well. And speaking of the Cultural Center, the Harwich Magazine, we are actually, if you come on Tuesday night to our business after hours, you'll get a first look. The cover is finalized and being unveiled. So our magazine this year is all about arts and culture of Harwich. So we have some wonderful things that I'll talk about that night about what we're doing with our magazine.
What a great idea.
So yeah, we're super excited about that. And then just to touch, June 23rd, we'll be here in no time. Get ready. We're going to start doing some workouts with Coco Fit like we did last year. Some live videos to get ready for our June 23rd 5K road race.
My.
I know. I won't touch on the summer yet.
Okay. So people should be getting warmed up now for that road race.
Get warmed up now,
Yeah.
get stretching, and then we're going to have some great community workouts beforehand to get everybody happy, healthy, and in rare shape.
For that fun event.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So that takes us to June, Dinah. I think we have a lot coming up between now and then. I hope everyone will come out and join us Tuesday night at the Business After Hours. Again, please RSVP because Tony and Sharon are putting together a great group of food tastings for us that evening as well. So.
And can you say again where that's being held?
Yes, that is at the Family Pantry on Queen Anne Road, and again, 5:15 to 6:45. Please feel free to call me at the office, which is 508-430-1165, or you can email me at Cindy, and it's cyndi@harwichcc.com.
Okay. Well, lots of information and lots of things to look forward to.
Lots happening in Harwich, as always.
So thank you so much, Cindy.
Thank you.
Oh, Cindy always has something going there down at the chamber, and
She sure does, and that Toast of Harwich is always a very, very important event around town.
and it is a great event.
Yes,
it
it
really
is.
is.
Yes.
And it's
It's a fun night.
it's a fun night. I can't believe she actually mentioned the Harwich 5K. We're talking about June.
I know.
Oh my goodness! It's amazing
Well,
how fast the year goes.
yes.
It really is. You have an announcement there, Eileen.
I do. As you know, the Family Pantry of Cape Cod that happens to be housed here in Harwich is a very, very important and very dear organization to both of our hearts. We both volunteer in different ways for them. And my way is working at the Second Glance Boutique. And it's one of the major fundraising and revenue streams for the pantry.
Sure
and
is.
the pantry does so much good for so many people that need help. And so anyway, I have an announcement from my manager, Carol Sharps. She would, first of all, like me, to thank you for all of your support and for remembering Second Glance when you want to look for something to shop for. A few items for you to consider are the winter clearance is ongoing. It's 50% off all winter clothing and outerwear, and I couldn't believe when I was working there yesterday, there was still quite a nice selection of things, and people were really very happy with their bargains.
And yesterday was a special celebration
yes,
there,
it
was
was.
it not?
Thank you for bringing it up. That was
Yes.
going to be my next comment. Our 11th anniversary, believe it or not, was yesterday, and we had a big cake celebrating it, and it was just such a party atmosphere and such a nice afternoon. It was really fun. People came in to support us and stayed for cake, and the big the big decision was whether to have chocolate or vanilla cake with vanilla frosting, and it was just a fun afternoon, and people then started to browse, and they ended up, buying a few things and finding a few bargains, and it was just a nice day. Easter is early this year, as we all know. It's April 1st, and that's no fooling. Come in and
boy.
check out, come in and check out our Easter parade of decorations, linens, and much more. And there are some wonderful spring items going out on the floor daily. We put out quite a bit yesterday, and it's really interesting when the items come out from the back room on the rack, and they're all, washed and pressed and ready to go, and they're tagged, and people see us bringing out the rack, and they immediately start going through it because it's first come, first served. So anyway, please come on by. They're open every day from Tuesday through Saturday. Right now, those are our winter hours, and it's 10 to 4 right now.
Very good.
Yes, that will be changing in the spring.
And I don't know, I've said it many, many times, if you have never been to Second Glance, you are missing something. You really are.
There's rarely a day I go out of the house without something that I bought there, and today it happens to be this turtleneck.
That's right. Yeah.
It goes perfectly with what I'm wearing.
That's right. That's very true. And they're just, it's amazing the things they have there.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And all in very good condition. You'd
And
swear
the
they're
furniture,
new.
the
furniture is
oh.
amazing. I wish I had this monstrous house
I know.
because I'd be filling it with all the furniture that's there.
Yes,
I mean,
and there's a big turnover too. People do buy it quickly.
yeah, they do. It comes in and it's out before you know it.
You're right.
So if you haven't been there, you're really missing a bargain. That's for sure. And every cent that's spent at that institution goes to the Family Pantry of Cape Cod.
Yes,
And,
it does.
Yeah, every cent.
Yep.
Yep. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, all the workers are volunteers except for the manager,
Yeah,
and everything is donated.
that's right. So very good. Thanks, Eileen. I have a couple of important dates that you really need to remember because they're going to be department budget hearings, which is really very important to be well informed as to where our money is going here in town. On Saturday, March 3rd, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Harwich Town Hall in the Griffin Room, there are going to be department budget hearings, and that's going to be on Channel 18. So I'll be right on this channel, and in order for you to be well informed as to how all of the different departments are spending their money, this is an opportunity for you to tune in and hear what's going on. That is happening again Saturday, March 3rd, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. right at the Town Hall in the Griffin Room. And again, a reminder, and I know it's, it is a little way in advance, but this is time to circle it on your calendar. The annual town meeting is Monday, May 7th at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. And there are going to be a lot of important warrants this year, so it is really important that you circle that on your calendar and try to be there. Again, as I had mentioned earlier today, we do have a direct town meeting. It's an opportunity for your voice to be heard Monday, May 7th, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Harwich Community Center. So that's important. Eileen, you have an announcement.
Yes, I do. Saturday, March 10th at 7:30 p.m. Mark your calendars. The Harwich Cultural Center is going to be having an early St. Patrick's Day with Runa, an Irish music award-winning Celtic roots band. The tickets are going to be $20 for general admission until March 1st, and then they will go up to $25. A reserve ticket will be $35 until March 1st, and then it will go up to $40. So if you're interested, you may call 1-800-838-3006. There is a website, but it is so long, I think we'll just stick with the phone number. Again, 1-800-838-3006. It's presented by the Harwich Cranberry Arts and Music Festival. And another item to mark on your calendar, that same day is the St. Patrick's Parade of Cape Cod, and that will be March 10th at 11 a.m.
Okay, and also that same day at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can go for a tracking workshop, which is a very interesting one. Learn the science of the track on Saturday, March 10th from 9 to 11:30 a.m. Join naturalist and tracking instructor Todd Kelly for a hands-on workshop identifying wildlife tracks and sign. They'll learn to recognize and interpret the clues left behind by animals such as otter, fox, coyote, deer, raccoon, muskrat, skunk, and maybe even mink. I think I had mentioned this last week. I didn't know we had mink.
No.
That's quite interesting. Then they're going to walk across the tracker's sandbox and learn how to match the anatomy of tracks with the movements made from them, or made by them. It includes a 16-page workshop handout containing concise instruction, a land mammal species checklist for Cape Cod, and an extensive tracker's bibliography. All of that for just $20. That's a good deal. And again, that's Saturday, March 10th. The rain date for that, it doesn't happen if it is raining or bad weather. It is Sunday, March 11th, same time. And then on Saturday, March 17th, there's an advanced trackers walk, and that's a companion walk to the tracking workshop. That is taking place also at 9 a.m., and the rain date for that would be the 18th. And that would be to enhance your tracker training on this workshop companion walk. And then they'll do a scenic trail and apply your skills on how to interpret the signs of wildlife that you see along the way. You can do both workshops for a discount of $30 for both. So 2 tracking workshops. Again, this is being sponsored by the Harwich Conservation Trust. The location for both of these is at the Bell's Neck Conservation Land. So 2 interesting, if you are interested in tracking and learning about, you know, the little tracks that are left by our little animal friends, this is a great opportunity.
Yes, we enjoy when we have snow, especially, to watch all of the tracks that are in our backyard and front yard.
And unfortunately,
day.
I don't know what the heck they are,
No,
so I
but
probably should take one of these.
That's my point. They look like they're having quite a party.
Yes, they do.
They didn't invite us.
That's right. And I noticed there's something going on top of my barbecue grill lately.
Yes,
so
yes, we noticed
so
that.
I don't
yeah,
know
the
what's
other
going
day.
on there, but oh well. Well, anyway, now we're going to have an update of the Council on Aging. Dinah sat down with Judy Wilson to give us an update on the COA. So let's take a look at that right now.
Hello. We're here with Judy Wilson of the COA. And Judy, we were speaking recently, and you were mentioning how very, very busy you are at COA and preparing for the spring.
We just had a staff meeting, in fact, to kind of talk about it. This is a natural, I think spring is a natural time for things to kind of get moving again, and we're no different at the Council on Aging.
It's a time of growth.
It is a time of growth. We have people who snowbirds are returning from the south. We have people who don't like to venture out too much in the cold or, you know, potentially icy weather. So we tend to program around that natural cycle. So March tends to be a month that we really kind of ramp up our programming, and it starts to get busy. March, April, May, and June are really 4 of our busy months. So we're excited about what's going on. And our March newsletter, our March and April newsletter, is at the printer and being mailed this week. So people should start to receive it in the mail by the end of the week. And so there are a lot of activities in there, and so I was hoping for an opportunity to kind of talk about that.
Yeah, that
today.
sounds great. So you have a number of things planned. I know you've been pretty busy this winter from my observation, but always it's a time of renewal, and as you say, more people will be around, so it'll be great to be doing more. So what kinds of things do you have planned for seniors?
Well, this winter we took some opportunity to start some regular programs, so we've really kind of worked on increasing attendance at our women's breakfast, and we have a new movie program. But this spring we're going to do some special kind of one-time only programs. We have the ARP tax aid program is really starting to ramp up. The ARP tax aid program, we work with them. They provide volunteers that are dedicated to Harwich residents of low and moderate income. You don't have to be a senior to take advantage of the service. The appointments are actually held at the Chatham Community Center, but there are dedicated volunteers and blocks of time for Harwich residents. And so we schedule all the appointments here at the Harwich COA for Harwich residents, and we encourage people to sign up for that. Tax season is already underway, so we'll wrap up by the middle of April, obviously, so that's important.
So people should call you at the COA
At the
here
COA
to make an appointment.
to schedule those appointments.
And then
yes.
those appointments will be held in Chatham.
Right,
at the
and we do
community
offer
center.
transportation to some, so if
I was
you
gonna
need
ask, yeah.
transportation, you can get a ride. There are select appointments dedicated to people who need a ride, seniors who need a ride on the van, so.
Sounds like a very important service.
Yeah, So we have some other special things coming up in March. We have, this year we're doing a St. Patrick's Day supper on Monday, March 12th at 5 o'clock. We're going to do a traditional corned beef dinner. And we have special entertainment. Kathy Hatch's Celtic duo will be playing. So we're looking forward to that. We're encouraging people to wear green. We're going to have door prizes, and it's very reasonable. It is $5 for residents and $6 for non-residents. And there is a limit to how many people can attend, so we encourage people to sign up for that ahead of time. We are doing a special spring fling program. We're excited about that. That's going to be Friday, March 16th at 6 to 8 p.m. That's a free event that we are doing in collaboration with the Sound Dunes Swing Ensemble. So there'll be an opportunity to sing along or dance. We're going to provide complimentary refreshments. So we're just hoping that that will be a nice time for people to kind of get back into the swing of things. And then we have a really exciting program. We're doing a cord cutting workshop with our local legislators in March on Friday, March 23rd at 11 a.m. And this program has gotten some coverage in the Cape Cod Times. And the remaining slots we are reserving for Harwich residents because we've had an amazing response to the information that's been out so far. Representative Randy Hunt has a presentation that he's going to do, but Representative Sarah Peake will be here, as will Senator Julian Sear. The program is really intended to address options or alternatives to the high cost of cable TV and what the legislators are doing about that. So it's a really exciting program. We're lucky to be having it here in Harwich. They're doing some programs across the Cape, but we're pleased to be one of the sites that they're coming to. And so that is going to be a very big program. And
so many people talk about that.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like a really, really valuable event
Right.
to learn more.
And then we'll have our regular programs. We're going to be doing the movie in the month of March is going to be the movie Wonder, which is really a heartwarming story starring Julia Roberts, but you do have to sign up for that. We'll have our men's breakfast and our women's breakfast, our men's book group. We'll be doing a Device Advice, which is a collaborative program with Brooks Free Library, where seniors can come in and make an appointment to sit down with somebody to help with their iPhone or their iPad or an email question or something like that. We don't do malware removal. We're not a computer fix-it service. We're more information and referral service for computer questions. So we're excited about that. And then we really are trying to continue working on our series of addressing some of the taboo subjects of aging.
What kind of taboo subjects? Can you mention them?
So one of the things that in the Aging Network we have found is that there are some issues around loss and change as we age that people don't like to talk about. And we have made a real concerted effort at Councils on Aging to start trying to get older adults to talk about some of those issues so that they can be more planful about some of the change and the loss that they'll face. And really the goal in all of that is to help people age more successfully because really when you're informed sometimes it really can make the difference. So we have an exciting program coming up. Kevin Grunwald is a MSW. He's our social service coordinator at the Council on Aging, and he's doing this wonderful program. It's a group called Reflections on Aging. And there's going to be 3 separate sessions, and you can come to 1 or 2 or all 3, and it's a free program. It's not a psychotherapy session. His modules, the first one will have to do with loss, the second one will have to do with forgiveness, and the third one will have to do with the next chapter. And it's really a discussion group around those issues which tend to impact older adults. In that chapter of life, we tend to be dealing with loss and forgiveness and questions about what comes next. So we're really hoping people will take advantage of that. It's a very small group. We're limiting it to 12. So it should be a very comfortable setting for people to have a discussion about those issues.
So it'll be a place to get support and to get some ideas about how other people deal with these
Right,
issues too,
right.
right?
Yeah, Kevin will
And
provide.
Kevin is a wonderful
He is.
facilitator.
He will provide some information to kind of get things started.
Yeah.
But those are important issues to really think about. The other taboo subject that we'll be dealing with coming up is older driving. So we are partnering with AARP, and we'll be hosting the AARP Safe Driving Program here at the Harwich COA. This program really helps older drivers stay educated and safe behind the wheel. There are a lot of changes in rules of the road that a lot of older drivers really aren't aware of. And so this is a program to really come and find out what has changed, what you need to know. It really addresses what some of the age-related changes are relative to driving and what you can do about them. And the goal of the program is not really to take anybody's license away. It's for you to be the best driver that you can be as you age.
So it's kind of like driver's ed for seniors.
It is. It really is. And it's funny. I have had 3 kids recently, or maybe not quite so recently, but get licensed. I have a 17-year-old, and I always joke, my husband and I joke, we don't know if we'd pass the driving test today because of some of the things our children have told us are rules that we didn't know. So if you add a few years to that equation, there are rules that not everybody is acutely aware of. And so what we want to do is make everybody as safe on the road as possible.
So this program is a classroom program. It's not in the car.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a classroom program.
It's really talking through the new rules and regulations that people may not be familiar
yes,
with.
they have a workbook that they work through, and it really is it's an educational program. It's the program. There is a cost associated, but we feel very strongly that we want to make this program a priority, and we want our Harwich residents to be safe drivers. We're offering the program for free for the first 10 Harwich residents that sign up for this. And really the goal behind this is to keep everybody safe on the road. Lunch is included in the program, so it's not all hard work. There's some fun and some light moments in it. And
how many sessions is it?
It's just one session. It's going to be Friday, April 6th from 9 to 2. But what you also get is a certificate at the end of the day, and some insurance companies will accept that certificate for a discount on insurance. So there's a little bit of incentive there in terms of doing it.
So the first 10 slots are free, and then how much is the program for others?
If you're an AARP member, it's $15, and if you're not, it's $20.
Okay. And how long is the session?
It's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we do provide lunch.
Full day.
It's a full day program.
With lunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good thing. And you can take as many people as are interested, or
no,
we
do have a limit on the attendance, but I don't expect that'll be a problem.
Okay.
But like I said, the free part is we really are trying to incentivize this for people to come and participate in it. There have been incidents in the last 3 years here on the Cape with older drivers having some accidents, and so it's about raising awareness. There are changes associated with aging, and you need to think about those in terms of your driving and just be prepared for them. And this is it really is an educational program and an awareness program that we hope people will take advantage of.
Sounds very good.
So I'd like to remind people, though, that all of these programs really do require pre-registration. So you have to call the Council on Aging to find out and sign up for these programs. And we also do have a great bulletin board here at the Community Center with flyers for all of these programs. So if you don't get the newsletter, you can come in and find out about them. But we also encourage people to call and get signed up to receive our newsletter. It comes 6 times a year. It is available also on the town's website by going to the Council on Aging webpage, and you'll see the newsletter link there.
And people could pick up a newsletter here as well,
Yes.
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have copies at local doctors' offices and town hall and police and fire stations, the community center. So we've made a concerted effort in the last several months to really make sure that we're getting our information out to people, that we're not just relying on people to come here and obtain it.
Great. Sounds very, very good. Okay. Anything else you have in mind? Sounds like plenty, but
I
any
don't-
last thoughts?
I don't think so. I mean, we're really
Okay.
excited. Spring is a fun time at the Council on Aging. We do have some changes coming up that we also mentioned in our newsletter. We are going to be moving around our lobby area and bringing our staff person, Marie Carlson, who's our office support person. She's our executive assistant, out to the COA lobby. We're getting ready for kind of a software conversion, if you will, a new database. And so we're making some changes, and we are going to continue to partner with our exceptional volunteers. They'll still be part of our reception process, but we're making some changes. So we're just encouraging everybody to be aware that that's coming. Things might look different, but there's still the same
But
people
you'll
in the offices.
Still be welcoming people in.
Absolutely,
Yes,
still be welcoming.
it's a very
people.
welcoming office, and so it's great to have it here. Thank you so much, Judy.
Thank you, Dinah.
Yeah.
Well, Judy does a great job for the COA. She's
Yes, she
really
does.
doing well, and such an active organization. There's so many opportunities.
It's amazing.
We were saying, during that piece we were talking, and in this town, there are so many things that you can do, so many things you can be involved in. Our first guest brought it out that some of the committees really could use some participants.
Yes.
And to become actively involved in town, there's really no excuse. The opportunities are just limitless.
Yes. And volunteerism really makes you feel good.
It really does.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something to do, there is something that will interest you here in town. Get involved, because it really.
And you meet people who have a similar interest, and it's a nice use of your time.
It really is.
It helps everybody.
Yeah, that's very true. Folks, that's our show for this week. We really appreciate you joining us. On behalf of all of us here at Channel 18, thank you so much.
Yes, and please take advantage of all those things we told you about today.
All right.
Hope you wrote them down.
I hope so. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
for now.